Howdy folks, Justin here. Today we are going to do another one of our 3-game Gauntlet series where we challenge another player in the community and they bring whatever they want to the table and we see how what we're brewing up stacks up. We have the latest version of the Battlemage deck that we're going to be running this season. It is on the left hand side of the screen and I like what we've got right now. It's really close to being what we're going to be running for the rest of the climb. But yeah, we're going to see how it goes. We're playing against Erlexx today. Great player, good guy, streamer. I recommend you check him out on Twitch if you haven't yet. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Select Battlemage, and we are off to the races. I have my I'm a Rocky Mountain Smurf cup today with me. Master of the Arena. Okay, looks like he's playing Spell Sword. My experience is so far is that Spell Sword is a pretty tricky matchup. We will lead with the Nightblade, followed up turn 2 with another Nightblade and a Quartermaster, so we get maximum value out of our Magicka. Okay, that's pretty good for him. All our creatures are small and crappy, which is part of the reason that this matchup is pretty challenging for us. So we will see how it goes. We did face Erlexx on the ladder not too long ago, and that Profiteer actually got him a lot of mileage. Since we're not packing a lot of removal, huh? So one of the things you want to do with this deck is stack up weapons in your hand. And obviously we have a lot going on here, and then just smash with one creature for a ton of damage when possible. Our prophecy options are pretty limited, so I don't know if he knows what's in our deck. I don't think he does, but there's not a lot of reason to be afraid of what we've got. Okay, East March Crusader's pretty good. Didn't trade, which is interesting, right? There's some... You could say that we should do that, right? But I think what we really want to do is just go face. If we throw this on... I think we throw it on a Nightblade, right? Because we don't mind the Nightblade dying as much as we would mind... because we get the last gasp value. We'll get more value out of that than we would if he kills the Quartermaster. But I would assume that he trades here, into there, and there, into there. Or Edict of Azura, perhaps, or an Execute on the Captain. That's pretty brutal. That is pretty brutal. The Imprison value. 2 Imprisons. Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Okay, Fiery Imp's pretty good. Keeps going face. Interesting. Yeah. Let's take a second to not die. And we are going to intentionally break his rune. If we get punished, we get punished. You can't really worry about that sort of thing with this deck. I assume now we're going to see the reinforcements, so he's going to gain 4 life, which is going to be pretty hard for us to deal with. We have 2 steel swords we can slap on something next turn, but we are still not pushing the damage we need to be pushing. Those 2 Imprisons really hurt us. Bannerman's... We're a little too far behind in life to get much value out of Bannerman. And if he drops too much more... Okay, so with Divine Fervor, then we're just dead on board. So... And there's not a lot we can do about it, right? Besides just keep pushing face. So, we're probably just dead. We did our best, but he had the removal to disrupt our relatively fragile face deck, so. Is this the Fervor? Or maybe a Tullius? Tullius costs 6, right? Either way, the Profiteer on turn 2 was pretty great for him, so. Not a lot we could do to contest that. No, there's Warcry. Okay. So that's a wrap then. We don't have the tools to deal with that, unfortunately. Alright. So, off to game 2. See what he brings to the table this time. Spell Sword, like I said, Spell Sword Token's one of the tougher matches that we have had so far, at least. Okay, back with Battlemage. Waiting on Erlexx to respond to the challenge. Alright, let's see what we have in store for us next in our little gauntlet here. So one of the reasons you want to run Battlemage is that it's got good matchups against Archer, and it's got a good matchup against Mage. It's a little weak against Scout. Spell Sword Tokens is, in my experience, about 50-50. Spell Sword Control I haven't had enough opportunity to play against yet to know how that goes, but I imagine that's pretty favorable, but I could be wrong. Ditch all this stuff, we need some faster stuff. Okay, not a great hand. I mean, if he's a spell-based deck, then, you know, we'll get some mileage out of our cultists, but no turn 1 play is pretty brutal. So, Relentless Raider's a little too late there, unfortunately. And that's the saddest turn 2 play we can have, unfortunately. So, and there's the Ashlander, and another Ashlander. Okay. Throw down the cultist. See what happens next. Not great showing so far, unfortunately. And he gets his Ashlander value. Seems like he's onto us too. He knows we're not running a lot that can handle what he's got going on as far as the Ashlanders. We'll just try to push him out of getting any spell value, but you know, it wouldn't take a whole lot of fancy Ashlander work here to really screw us up. Yep. So we hope it hits face. Our luck, it'll hit that. Yep, of course. See what happens next. Cunning Ally. Yeah, things are not looking good again. Opponent has been quite successful in what he's been doing. And it doesn't seem like our spell disruption plan is having much of an effect on him at all. But the 2 Ashlander starts, hard to come back from, so. See what we got in store next. I assume it involves Firebolt and trade, or maybe even a... I mean, better for us would be use the elixir and lightning bolt it, and then go face. Mummify. Okay. Well, we will get some triumphant Jarl value at least. So we got that going for us. We are 3 damage in for Burn and Pillage, although he is in the colors most resistant to Burn and Pillage damage, obviously, with the ward creatures. And, you know, left to our own devices, we can get it to 4, but now looks like we might be seeing double Firebolt on our Jarl and then a trade in. So, not great. Oh, just a lightning bolt. Okay. So we know he has 2 Firebolts in hand, right? So Markarth Bannerman probably not going to get a whole lot of work done. I think whatever we do is going to involve a Harpy. And I guess an Orc and a Crown Quartermaster. So now we have Burn and Pillage for 4. We have 2 charge creatures we can drop next turn. Kind of depends. I mean, an Ice Storm right now from him would be pretty good. It would leave this alive, but wouldn't be great for us. If he's the kind of guy who runs Indoril Archmage too, we could be in trouble. And a lightning bolt, okay. No longer have lethal. High Rock Summoner. And a lesser ward, okay. So what's our move here? So I feel like it's obvious he's going to attack into that. Let's do this. Hit Prophecy, okay. Not great for us. It's a Shrieking Harpy, huh? Does sort of make me want to save our spinner, right? We're going to throw down the Bannerman. See what happens here. Okay, so that goes there, right? Do you have a lightning bolt for the Bannerman? Frost Atronach. Okay, we got the 5 value Burn and Pillage. So that might not be enough. Ward. Okay, he's got ward on that. Now we do have Battle Rage Orc into that. And then Burn and Pillage. Patience with our Burn and Pillage might be paying off. I don't think there's a way this screws up. Alright. Game 2, so we are 1-1. Interesting sorcerer deck there. Lost to the spell sword deck, and now we're going to head into our final match against Erlexx. And again, I highly recommend that you check out his stream. You can find him on Twitch. Really entertaining, plays some interesting stuff. And just an all-around good guy. I definitely want to help support that. So, waiting for him to respond to our final challenge today. See how this goes. I haven't had a chance to put Merrick at arms into play, so maybe we'll get some value out of that this time. Be cool if we did. I think it's a really interesting card. Mage, we want to keep Withered Hand Cultist. So we'll go Nightblade into Cultist. This guy's too easy to execute, so. And I think we just keep stacking him over in this lane. I don't see a lot of reason not to. Next turn we have the option of Battlemace or Northlander. I feel like Northlander's probably the right call. Okay. We will... And Brutal Ashlander seeing more play. This time though it kind of works out for us, right? Because if Northlander gets hit with the Ashlander, we'll be okay. But so we assume he goes like that. And he could then just, if he hits this, just Firebolt to finish it off. And now, of course, he can just execute for 1 Magicka and go about his merry way. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to get out an early Bannerman, see how that works out for us. You know, if he has Piercing Javelin now, he's going to Piercing Javelin this, but that does potentially open up the an opportunity to Sentinel Battlemace on that thing, if that's where we're going. Relentless Raider. So if we go Raider, Captain, Steel Sword, we can get some good value here. We're going to play Steel Sword just to get maximum value out of our Magicka. If we hit him for 1, we can then next turn burn and pillage for 3 and wipe what he has on board. You know, he might have some more coming, so we need to be aware of that. This is also his Golden Saint turn. Haffinger Marauder. Okay, that'll die to our burn and pillage as well. Kind of depends what he gets with the rest of this. Hopefully nothing boosting his toughness. Okay, so that will survive unless we hit him for 4. Need a firebolt for our raider. Yep. So we're gonna hit him for 6, so we get as much damage in as possible. We're gonna hit him for 2, and then we're going to burn and pillage. That way we wipe the board. Still, it's not going to take a lot of removal from our opponent here to really screw up what we have going on. We saw 1 Piercing Javelin already, right? So Blood Dragon might be a good play. Ice Storm here might be the opponent's play. Soul Split. So we need that to go face. Yep. And like I said, Mage of all kinds of Mage are some of your best matchups. And it's sort of the reason you play this deck, right? Because Mage is super popular right now. And you want to make it happen. We put that on there so we don't have to deal with any prophecies. Alright, well, hey, thanks a lot for joining me today for this Gauntlet. Give you another feel for the Battlemage deck we're trying to make happen. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget that you can find footage of the PAX coverage this weekend for Elder Scrolls Legend online. So, have a great afternoon and happy day.